So last night, President Biden delivered his farewell address, reflecting on his 4 years in office, which will be remembered as one of the most productive periods in modern American history. Working alongside President Biden for the American people was the honor of a lifetime. When President Biden took office, America was in crisis. The pandemic was surging. The economy was reeling. Our democracy was under assault. But President Biden, with good help from Senate Democrats, got right to work. And together, I'm proud that we achieved one of the most ambitious legislative agendas in decades. Working with President Biden, we created nearly 17 million new jobs, the most in a single term. We passed historic legislation like CHIPS and Science. That was a baby that I nurtured. The bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act. We lowered the cost of prescription drugs for tens of millions of Americans. We passed the first gun safety law in 30 years. We enshrined marriage equality into law. We confirmed 235 well-qualified and historic judges to lifetime appointments, more judges than any majority has confirmed in decades, and so much more. President Biden also left America with a somber warning in his address, one that every American should listen to. He cautioned that, quote, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that will threaten all of progress our country has made in the last 4 years. President Biden is right. An oligarchy is beginning to take shape in America, and you can see it by looking at the incoming Trump administration. Donald Trump has not even taken office yet, but many of his top advisors and cabinet picks are extremely wealthy people with deep ties to corporate special interests. Many of these cabinet picks seem to see the world through the eyes of a very rich and privileged individual, a very limited vision indeed. And the agenda they are pushing, tax cuts from the ultra-wealthy and draconian cuts to the working class, tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy and draconian cuts to the working class, is narrow and only furthers inequality in America. Donald Trump's agenda would precisely benefit the oligarchy class that President Biden is warning about. The progress we've made under President Biden's leadership, lower taxes for families, more affordable health care, investments in infrastructure and energy, should not be undone only to assuage the desires of a limited few. We Democrats will continue the legacy that President Biden created, continue fighting for working families, and make sure that everyone in America, not just the uber wealthy, has a fair shot.